This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 5, and it reads, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end." Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and the glory shall go to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Makakudash, Prakatam. Double honors shall go to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, who continue to teach and to rule well. Shalom to the Akians of Great Millstone and like-minded camps and individuals who continue to teach as one body, who continue to be out on the highways and byways, risking their lives for the greater good. And also shalom to the sincere Aquat, who are continuously learning in silence as our holy scriptures have commanded for you to do so. This is Azariah Gabar, representing the King is Coming channel, back at it with another lesson for edification purposes. So, Salakia. This video lesson for today will center upon Esau's perpetual hatred. Alright? So, this lesson is pretty much a piggyback lesson from the previous lesson that I conducted about meddling not with them, meddle not with the children of Esau, and there is a reason for that. Okay? There's a reason for it. When Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai Wakah Kodash does things, he doesn't do it just for the hell of it. There's a legitimate reason for why he does things. You Jakes have to understand this. He does it for a reason. Okay? So, to back up this previous scripture, we're going to go to the book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 41, and it reads, "And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob." I mean, it can't get any more clear than this. Alright? Esau not only wants to hate us perpetually, but he also wants to kill us. And it's showing more and more by the day. Okay? Just be circumspect. Look around you. Listen to the news. Okay? He's plain sighted about this now. He's coming out in full force about his perpetual hatred for you Jakes. Look what's going on with Trump and his determination to deport mass deportations of you so-called Jakes, mainly from the northern tribes, but now he's concentrating on the southern tribes as well. The southern tribes being of the Judites, Benjamites, and the Levites. The so-called blacks, so-called Caribbeans, and the so-called Haitians. Y'all are next too. And I'm a Benjamite myself. So I have to include myself in this equation. All right? So stop sleeping. All right? Stop sleeping. Open up your eyes and realize what's going on. So, just more scriptures to back up what I'm saying. When we go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 13, verse 31, and it reads, "And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another." So, pop quiz. What do you think this scripture means? Time's up. For those who supposed to be in the know, this represents the race wars. Okay? One people against another. That's simple. That's the race wars that's brewing right now. So this is not a fairy tale. It really isn't. And to further prove this, Yahweh Shai, in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 7, it reads, "For nation shall rise against nation," right? So you got the nation of Edom and the nation of Jacob or Israel that's going at it. So Jacob in these last days is going to rise up against Esau. You heard? And kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And these are the beginning of sorrows. They're the beginning of sorrows. Okay? So, this is not hate speech. All right? This is truth speech. There's a difference. Because a typical Edomite, if he or she is to hear what I'm saying right away, and even a lot of you 2/3 Jakes who want to sympathize with your oppressor, all right? With this Stockholm Syndrome mentality, you're going to say, oh, he's racist. He's no better than the white people. Again, if you're not into that spiritual know-how, you're not going to see where I'm coming from with this. You're going to say, oh, I'm hating just like they are. No, there's a difference between hate speech and truth speech. This is from the scriptures that I'm reciting. The truth, the absolute truth, okay? Because you know that saying, the proof is in the pudding. Well, I'm saying the truth is in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you silly Jakes, just stop the madness. Just stop the madness. So, Slaki, I want to pull up this video. So, here's a video that came out not too long ago that caught my attention. You had this Jake woman, and I just found out right before this lesson, she's actually a speckled bird. All right, but she moved from Russia because she was originally from Russia. She moved to Babylon when she was a kid. But then, as she got older, she got tired of the violence and the racism here in Babylon, so she decided to relocate back to her homeland, Slovakia, back to her homeland in Russia to escape the madness in Babylon. And guess what? She got attacked, brutally assaulted by her Gog neighbors. Because that's who the so-called Russians are, Gog and Magog, all right? So,
a black woman who moved from the U.S. to Russia to escape discrimination and racism revealed on social media that the entire plan backfired on her in a disturbing way. Francine Villa was born in Russia but moved to the U.S. with her family when she was a kid. In a heartbreaking video, Francine claims that both she and her baby were brutally attacked by racist neighbors in Moscow. She detailed the alleged assault on Instagram. Now, the fact that the attack occurred in her homeland is an extra painful blow. Villa had previously spoken about her move in the 2020 documentary Back in the USSR, which aired on the Russian state media channel RT. Villa said that her great-grandfather George Tynes, who hails from Virginia, worked as an agriculturalist after moving to the Soviet Union in the 1930s. Now, much of her family still lives there, but at a young age, she moved with her mother to the United States. It was there that she spent most of her life until experiencing what she described as a traumatizing experience with police. Villa explained in the documentary that she'd approached officers for help during an emergency, but that they turned on her instead, throwing her to the ground. It was then that she decided it was time to leave. That was back in 2019. Here is how she explained it. Quote, "Why did I make up my mind to move to Russia? I wanted to leave a country where I was facing discrimination. After a year living in Moscow, she told RT, quote, I feel free living in Russia because in Russia, no matter what time it is, I can walk outside and I'm safe." 5 years later, that proved to be a fantasy. Following the alleged attack, Villa took to Instagram with the lights still on her.
all right, so y'all heard, y'all saw that, right? Okay? So, the proof's in the pudding, you Jakes. So this is why I'm saying to you guys, meddle not with them. You saw the proof, you saw the reason why I'm telling you this. Wake up and smell the damn roses. You heard? So this is going to conclude my lesson for today. Lord willing, it was edifying to someone out there. So until the next lesson, Lord willing, all praises, honor, and glory shall go to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash, Brakatham. On to the next one. Shalom.